Open back bend slide. So we're going to look at one of my favorite moves that I've been teaching for, forever. It's called an open back bend slide. There's a number of different names and similar moves, but this is something that I feel like has almost become a signature way to get to the floor. I have been doing it for years. We're going to look at it in full real time with rotation, but we're going to break it down first, very static, so that you can understand where your body is going to be on the pole and how to safely get to the floor. Then we'll crank it and add some spin. Place your ribbon on opposite ankle and wrist. Open back bend slide, static prep. Start standing behind your pole. Legs will be wide and you will be on the balls of your feet. The ribbon hand will be holding onto the pole in a handshake grip. You are going to step forward with the ribbon leg in a zigzag action. Then you are going to sneak the non-ribbon leg through and step forward again in front of the pole, continuing the zigzag action. Step your feet slightly wider than your hips. This will bring the pole to the back hip of the non-ribbon foot. The pole will be running through the armpit, side body, and back of the hip of the non-ribbon leg. You want the soft part in your waist between the rib cage and the hip bone to be nestled into the pole. Pick up the ribbon leg into a passe position. Then quickly alternate the bending and straightening of the legs. Bend the non-ribbon leg as you drop to the floor and straighten the ribbon leg. Be sure to keep the ribbon arm in a soft bicep grip, allowing the arm to slide down the pole engaged and bent. You do not want the arm to pull out of the shoulder. Be sure to lean back so that the pole stays in the soft, fleshy part of your waist. Notice as I come into my end position on the open back bend slide, I am leaning past the pole, so my body is at a diagonal position. The pole is in the soft, fatty part of my waist. Open back bend slide. Now, let's add some rotation. Start standing behind your pole. The ribbon foot will be the inside leg. The non-ribbon hand will grab the pole in a soft handshake grip. Step on to the non-ribbon leg and start to pivot the body into the pole as if you were going to execute a pirouette, and transition the weight completely to the non-ribbon leg, continuing to pivot through the ball of that foot. Pick up and passe the ribbon leg. Bring the ribbon arm to the pole in a loose forearm grip. The non-ribbon leg will stay in a soft bend. Think of that leg as a shock absorber, like on your car. Continue to pivot on the non-ribbon foot, letting your body rotate away from the pole till you catch the pole in the ribbon bicep, and be sure to allow the ribbon bicep to over-rotate, allowing you to continue the rotation around the pole. As you start to come back around to front, start to soften the grip of the ribbon hand and slowly release your body to the floor. Think about arching your torso around the pole and pressing it into the pole to create resistance with your skin. Bend the non-ribbon leg and extend the ribbon leg. Continue to release your body fully to the floor. You will still be holding onto the pole loosely with the ribbon arm. As you descend to the floor, the ribbon leg will externally rotate from the hip, allowing the outside of the shin and ankle to be the contact point on the floor. The knees will be pointing away from each other as you lay down fully on your side. Legs will be in a scorpion tail shape. Squeeze your glutes to separate those thigh bones to reach full extension. So there's two very common mistakes with this move. The first is the arm. So you want to keep that arm tight and into the body as you release to the floor. And that release happens from the grip regulation of your hand and possibly the bicep on the pole. You are not extending the arm and pulling on the shoulder. You want to keep it nice and tight. That'll make it much easier to regulate how you actually connect with the floor. The other one is the legs. Don't switch the legs. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes. Follow the step by step and don't alternate your legs. The leg that you step on is the leg that's going to release you to the floor. The leg that comes up is the leg that's going to extend. Sometimes I like to think of that leg saying, I'm going this way, and it extends and points around the pole in the direction that I'm falling, controlled with my hand here. If you extend your ribbon arm, then you are not able to control the descent of your body to the floor. From an aesthetic standpoint, if you extend the ribbon arm, you will not rotate around the pole, and then you will not have that liquid-like quality. In order to rotate safely around the pole, remember to engage from the shoulder and shoulder blade and keep the ribbon arm in a soft bicep grip. So to make this liquid, it involves using your noggin. And no, I don't mean thinking. It means I want you to actually look and point your head where you want to go. Almost try to bring your head back around to the starting position. The more you can reach around with your head and look where you're going, the more this is going to spin. So the same way I talked about bringing that leg and having it say, I'm going this way. I want you to actually go that way with head, shoulders. You can even, in the beginning, if you want to, point, whatever you need to do. But where you look is where you're going to go. So if you're looking over there, that's where you're going to stop. Look past where you want to be. Crank it, crank it, crank it. And remember, it's going to go fast. So the tip for this move is in the name, and it's a long name, but that's why I use it. It's an open back bend slide, which means I'm open. My back is on the pole. I'm bending around and I'm sliding. What I'm not doing is bringing my body in front of the pole and sticking my butt out and just falling to the floor. This is gonna make you very heavy. So open and let the butt and the back make contact with the pole and use that skin contact to help you release to the floor. It's very, very important. You wanna get your back and your ass on the pole. If it's not working, just think, what is the name of this move? And do what the name says, and you'll be successful.